You have lived so long believing that your thoughts are facts, that your limitations are real, and that the world outside defines who you are inside. But the truth is far more powerful. You are not the product of your circumstances, you are the creator of them. The mind is the projector, and reality is merely the screen. When you learn to reprogram your inner world, the outer world has no choice but to rearrange itself in your favor. Every belief you hold is a frequency. Every emotion is a code. You are not trapped, you are simply tuned to the wrong channel. Shift the frequency, and you will shift your entire life. You have been living in a dream, but not the kind that frees you, the kind that binds you. Every morning when you open your eyes, you believe you are waking up, but in truth, you are stepping into another layer of illusion, a carefully constructed reality built from your thoughts, beliefs, and memories. What you call the real world is not real at all. It is the reflection of your inner state, the mirror of your consciousness. The walls, the faces, the opportunities, even the challenges, they are not random. They are projections of what you believe you deserve, of what your mind has been programmed to see. Most people never question this. They live their entire lives reacting to reflections, blaming the mirror for what they see. When pain arises, they curse the world. When failure repeats, they call it fate. But fate is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens through you. Every thought is a seed. Every emotion is water. And reality simply grows the garden you tend inside. If your inner world is filled with weeds of fear, doubt, and limitation, then no matter how much you chase happiness on the outside, the garden will remain overgrown and tangled. To awaken to the illusion means to see beyond the surface of life. It means to pause and ask yourself, what if everything I perceive is a reflection of what I think? What if the struggles I face are not punishments, but mirrors showing me what still needs healing within? The moment you ask this question sincerely, something shifts. You begin to step out of the hypnosis of the mind and into awareness. Awareness is light, and once light enters the room, darkness cannot remain. You start to notice the patterns, the same arguments repeating, the same opportunities slipping away, the same emotional wounds disguised in new situations. You begin to see that life has never been against you. It has been trying to wake you. Every disappointment was a whisper. You are dreaming. Wake up. Every setback was a hand shaking your shoulder. You are not your story. When you awaken, you realize that the world is not happening to you. It is responding to you. It echoes your vibration. It mirrors your expectations. It bends to the shape of your inner beliefs. And then something miraculous occurs. You stop fighting reality, instead you start mastering it. You stop trying to change the reflection in the mirror and instead change the expression on your face. That is how transformation begins. Not by forcing the world to change, but by changing the world within you. But awakening is not comfortable. The illusion was familiar. It gave you an identity, a sense of control. When you begin to see through it, you may feel lost. You may question everything. That is good. That confusion is the space between the old program and the new truth. Stay there, breathe there. For in that stillness your true self begins to emerge, the self that was never conditioned, never afraid, never limited. You will realize that you are both the dreamer and the dream. You are not the puppet being pulled by invisible strings. You are the one holding them. The moment this truth sinks deep into your heart, the illusion shatters like glass, and what remains is freedom, the kind of freedom that no circumstance can take away. So look around you now, not with your eyes but with your awareness. Ask yourself, what is my reality trying to show me about my inner world? Then listen, not with fear but with curiosity. Because the moment you awaken to the illusion, you stop being controlled by it. You stop surviving in someone else's story and begin writing your own. And when you finally awaken fully, you will understand. Reality was never your prison. It was your teacher, patiently waiting for you to remember that you were the one dreaming all along. You cannot write a new story while clinging to the pages of the old one. Yet most people live this way, trying to create change with the same thoughts that created their pain. You say you want peace, but still repeat the words of fear. You say you want success, but still carry the belief that you are not enough. The mind is like a computer. It runs whatever program was installed long ago. And for many, those programs were written by the hands of parents, teachers, society, people who themselves were programmed by others. You inherited their fears, their limits, their patterns, and without realizing it, you began living out a script that was never truly yours. But every program, no matter how deeply coded, can be erased. The process, however, requires courage, because it is not the world you must fight, but your own conditioning. To erase the old program is to sit quietly with the uncomfortable truths within you. It is to ask, where did this voice come from? Who taught me to doubt myself? Who told me that love must hurt, that success is rare, that I am too late, too weak, or too small? These are not your truths, they are echoes of voices that never knew your potential. Yet they live inside your mind, whispering limitations every time you try to rise. Think of your mind as a clear lake. When you were born, it was still and pure. But as you grew, stones were thrown into it. Judgments, failures, comparisons, fears. The surface rippled and the reflection blurred. You could no longer see your true self beneath the water. Erasing the old program means removing those stones one by one. It means forgiving the past, not because it was right, but because you deserve peace. It means no longer replaying the same story of pain as an excuse to stay small. You must begin observing your thoughts, not as facts but as habits. Notice how often your mind repeats the same sentences every day. I can't do this. It's too late. I always fail. These are not your voice, they are recordings. They play automatically because repetition gave them power. But remember this, if repetition created the old program, repetition can erase it. Every time you catch a thought that weakens you and choose not to feed it, you are rewriting your code. Every time you replace it with a higher truth, I am capable, I am growing, I am becoming, you are installing a new frequency into your subconscious. This is not instant. Just as it took years to believe the lies, it takes time to believe the truth again. Patience is your ally. Consistency is your sword. Each moment of awareness is a strike that cuts through the old illusion. There will be days when the old voice shouts louder, when the past tries to pull you back into its comfort. But remember, the louder it gets, the closer you are to silence it forever. That resistance is proof of transformation. You cannot transcend reality while being loyal to the wounds of the past. You cannot enter your future while holding hands with your old self. The moment you let go, truly let go, something powerful awakens within you. It is like clearing fog from a mirror and finally seeing your reflection. You realize that beneath every false belief, your original nature has been waiting, calm, strong, limitless. So now when the old thoughts return, smile at them. Recognize them as memories, not instructions. Do not fight them, simply refuse to obey. You are no longer the same mind that created them. You have begun a new chapter. You are not the echo, you are the voice that creates new sound. Erase the old program not by force but by awareness. Replace fear with understanding, and doubt with presence. The moment you stop identifying with the old code, you become free to write the new one. And when that happens, your mind no longer repeats the past, it begins to create the future you were born to live. The most powerful prison is not made of walls. It is built from beliefs. You live inside what you think is possible. Every decision you make, every action you take, is filtered through the lens of what you believe you deserve. If your inner voice tells you that you are unworthy, then even when opportunity stands before you, you will hesitate. If your mind repeats that life is hard, you will unconsciously make it so. You do not see the world as it is. You see it as you are. And who you are at your deepest level is defined by the beliefs you choose to hold. Installing empowering beliefs is the process of reclaiming authorship of your inner story. It is to stop living as a character written by others and start writing your own script. It begins with awareness, noticing how often your mind drifts toward limitation. You say, I can't, I don't have enough, it's too late. Each of these phrases is a seed, and if planted often enough, it becomes the forest that blocks your vision. But within you exists another garden, the one that blooms when you choose new words, new truths, and new ways of seeing yourself. Imagine your subconscious mind as fertile soil. It does not care what you plant, it only grows what you feed it. If you plant seeds of doubt, you harvest fear. If you plant seeds of courage, you harvest freedom. This is why you must guard your thoughts as a gardener guards his soil. Each day you must water the seeds of possibility, of confidence, of abundance. Speak to yourself as you would speak to someone you love deeply. Replace I can't with I am learning. Replace it's too late with my time is unfolding perfectly. Replace I'm not enough with I am growing into my strength. These are not empty affirmations, they are codes that reprogram your mind. Words create vibration, and vibration reshapes reality. To install empowering beliefs, you must also feel them. The subconscious does not respond to words alone, it responds to emotion. When you say, I am powerful but feel weak, the old program remains. So close your eyes, breathe deeply, and embody the feeling of that belief as if it were already true. Feel it in your chest, in your heartbeat, in your breath. Let your imagination become your reality for just a moment, and the subconscious begins to accept it as truth. Repetition anchors it. Emotion energizes it. Together they transform you. There will be resistance. The old beliefs will whisper from the shadows, trying to remind you of who you used to be. They will say, be realistic. They will say, you failed before. When this happens, smile. It means your new program is working. The mind resists change because it loves what is familiar, even if the familiar is painful. But each time you hold your new belief a little longer, each time you choose faith over fear, the old code weakens. You are literally rewiring your brain, creating new neural pathways that support your highest potential. Science calls it neuroplasticity. Wisdom calls it awakening. Soon something shifts. You wake up one day and realize you no longer need to convince yourself. You simply are. You no longer have to say, I am enough, because it has become your natural state. You act with confidence not because you are trying, but because you have remembered. You begin to attract people, opportunities, and experiences that match your new vibration. Life starts to feel lighter, more aligned, more effortless. It's not that the world changed, it's that you did. So each day speak your truth until it becomes your reality. Walk as the person you wish to be until the world reflects that back to you. The mind is your tool, not your master. And when you fill it with beliefs that uplift, strengthen, and expand you, the illusion of limitation dissolves. The moment you choose to believe in your power, not someday, but now, you awaken the creator within. And when that happens, life itself bows to your conviction, because it recognizes that you have remembered who you truly are. Close your eyes for a moment, and imagine the life you wish to live, not with logic, not with reason, but with feeling. See it, yes, but more importantly feel it. The warmth of that home you dream of, the peace in your heart as you wake each morning with purpose, the joy that rushes through your veins as you finally live the life that once only existed in your mind. That feeling is not fantasy, it is the language of creation. The universe does not respond to words, it responds to vibration, and emotion is vibration in its purest form. Many people visualize their dreams as if they are watching a movie that does not belong to them. They see it, but do not enter it. They speak of it, but do not feel it. The mind says, maybe one day, and in that moment, the energy of distance is born. You must understand this. When you visualize your dream, you are not imagining the future. You are practicing alignment with it. You are tuning yourself to the frequency of that reality, like a radio aligning to the right channel. The more clearly you feel, the stronger the signal becomes, until eventually, the physical world adjusts to match your inner broadcast. When you visualize with emotion, you bridge the gap between thought and manifestation. A thought without feeling is like a seed without water. It cannot grow. But when you breathe emotion into your vision, when your heart beats faster and your body begins to believe, the subconscious starts working relentlessly to make it true. The mind doesn't know the difference between what is vividly imagined and what is experienced. When you live your dream in your imagination every day with full emotion, you are rehearsing your destiny. So when you visualize, don't just see yourself achieving your goal, feel the gratitude as if it has already happened. Don't just picture the outcome, feel the peace, the joy, the expansion that comes with it. Let your body become the vessel of that emotion. Let it flow through your breath. The more you can feel, the more you magnetize that experience toward you. The feeling is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, between possibility and reality. Do not be discouraged if your mind resists. At first it will say, "This is not real." That is only the voice of old programming trying to protect its walls. But remember, all realities begin in the invisible. Every invention, every miracle, every transformation began as a thought charged with emotion. You are no different. When you close your eyes and truly feel the life you wish to live, you are calling it into existence. You are collapsing the distance between who you are and who you are becoming. Make visualization your ritual, not your escape. Do it not to wish but to remember. You are not chasing a dream, you are aligning with what already exists in a higher frequency. Each time you feel that emotion deeply, you signal to your subconscious, "This is who I am." And slowly, your actions, choices, and energy begin to align with that truth. Life starts to respond effortlessly, because you are no longer waiting for your dream, you are living from it. Imagine it until you can taste it. Feel it until your cells begin to vibrate with it. Walk through your day carrying that energy, as if your dream were already here, because it is. It's waiting behind the veil of disbelief, waiting for you to open the door with the key of emotion. Remember, this: thought creates the blueprint, but emotion builds the bridge. The stronger the emotion, the closer the dream. So don't just visualize the life you want, feel it until the universe has no choice but to deliver it to the one who already lives it within. Time is the greatest illusion of control. You measure your dreams by it, you judge your progress through it, and you suffer because of it. You say, "It hasn't happened yet," and with that single thought you create distance between yourself and what you desire. You become a prisoner of the clock, counting days instead of feeling them, waiting for the right moment that never truly arrives. But creation does not live in time, it lives in presence. The universe does not understand soon or later, it only knows vibration, energy, and now. When you detach from time, you step into the timeless dimension of creation. You begin to understand that everything you desire already exists, vibrating in a different frequency, waiting for your alignment, not your waiting. Imagine standing before a river. The water is already flowing. It does not need your push. All you must do is step in. But most people stand on the shore asking, "When will it reach me?" They forget that the river was never meant to come to them, they were meant to enter it. Time is a tool, but you have turned it into a master. You say, "I will be happy when it happens. I will trust when I see results." But happiness and trust are not destinations, they are energies that open the path. When you cling to time, you tighten your energy. You create tension, impatience, doubt. The more you chase, the further it runs. Detaching from time is not giving up, it is giving into the rhythm of life. It is trusting that what is yours is already in motion, even if your eyes cannot yet see it. The seed does not look at the soil and ask, "When will I bloom?" It simply grows because it knows it already contains everything it needs. The same truth lives within you. Your dream life is not waiting in some distant future. It is unfolding with every conscious breath, with every aligned thought, with every act of faith. The only thing that delays it is your belief that it's not here yet. The moment you stop waiting, you start receiving. When you let go of time, peace enters your heart. You stop comparing your path with others. You stop forcing outcomes. You begin to see that life has its own divine pace, one that always unfolds at the perfect moment. What seems like delay is often preparation. What feels like stillness is alignment. You are not being denied, you are being refined. The universe is arranging circumstances behind the curtain, preparing the stage for your arrival. Your job is not to control the timing, but to stay in harmony with the energy of what you desire. There is immense power in patience, but this patience is not passive, it is active trust. It is choosing to act from joy rather than fear. It is waking each day and saying, I don't need to know how or when, I simply know it is coming, because it already exists. That is the vibration of certainty, and certainty bends time. When you live in that frequency, things begin to unfold faster, not because you forced them, but because you aligned with their natural rhythm. Close your eyes and imagine for a moment that there is no clock, no calendar, no deadlines. There is only this moment, pure, powerful, infinite. Feel how light it is. Feel how free. This is where manifestation begins. Not in the anxiety of waiting, but in the calm knowing that all is already yours. So stop counting the hours, stop measuring your worth by progress. Stop doubting the pace of your path. Everything is arriving on time, even when you cannot see it. Let go of the need to rush, and you will discover that time itself begins to serve you. Because the moment you detach from time, you step into the eternal now, and in the now, all things already exist. Everything in this universe vibrates. Every thought, every emotion, every word you speak sends out a frequency. You are like a radio tower, constantly broadcasting your state of being into the field of life. And what you receive back, the people you meet, the opportunities you attract, the circumstances you face, is nothing more than the echo of your own vibration. This is why it is said you do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. If you wish to live a higher reality, you must first align yourself with a higher frequency. Look closely at how energy moves through your day. When you wake up with gratitude, your energy rises. The world seems lighter, more open, more kind. But when you wake up with worry, everything feels heavy. The same world, yet two different realities. This is not coincidence. It is resonance. Life mirrors your inner state. When your vibration is low, it pulls you into conflict, stress, and confusion. But when you raise your vibration, even the same challenges begin to transform into lessons and opportunities. The external world bends to the music of your inner tone. Aligning with higher frequency does not mean pretending to be positive. It means choosing clarity over chaos, peace over panic, love over fear. It is the practice of returning again and again to your center, the quiet space within you where your true power lives. Think of yourself as an instrument. When out of tune, no matter how skilled the player, the sound will not be harmonious. But once you tune the strings, the same hands can create beauty. Life is no different. When your energy is aligned, even small actions create great results. So how do you align? Begin with awareness. Notice what drains you and what nourishes you. The people who complain endlessly, the news that fills you with fear, the habits that numb your mind. These are frequencies that pull you down. You cannot fly while holding on to anchors. Protect your energy as you would protect your breath. Surround yourself with silence, with nature, with movement, with words that uplift you. Feed your mind with wisdom, your body with stillness, and your heart with gratitude. Slowly your vibration begins to rise. Gratitude is the doorway to higher frequencies. When you give thanks, not because everything is perfect, but because you recognize the beauty even in imperfection, your energy expands. The heart begins to open, and when the heart is open, the entire universe begins to respond. Joy, peace, compassion, forgiveness. These are not emotions. They are vibrations. They place you in harmony with the flow of life. As you begin to align with these higher states, you'll notice something profound. You no longer chase what is meant for you. It finds you. People, ideas, and synchronicities begin to appear as if by magic, because your vibration now matches the reality you desire. This is the secret many overlook. It is not the effort that creates alignment. It is the state of being. When you are in harmony with peace, you create peacefully. When you are in harmony with love, you draw in love effortlessly. There will be days when you fall out of tune, when old emotions or thoughts try to pull you back into lower frequencies. Do not fight them, observe them. Remember, awareness itself is light. Every time you bring light to your shadow, it dissolves a little more. Your only task is to keep rising, gently, consistently, patiently. The higher you vibrate, the clearer your path becomes. So lift your mind from fear, lift your heart from anger, lift your soul from doubt. Choose to vibrate at the frequency of who you wish to become, not what you have been. Because the universe is not responding to your past. It is responding to your current vibration. And when you finally align with that higher frequency, you will see that nothing outside needs to change. The entire world begins to shift simply because you did. In a world that never stops speaking, silence has become the rarest form of wisdom. Everywhere you turn, there is noise. The noise of opinions, comparisons, expectations, and endless distractions pulling your attention outward. You wake up to notifications. You fall asleep to thoughts that never rest, and somewhere in between, you lose connection with the voice that truly matters, the quiet one within. Yet it is in that very silence that your power lives. Silence is not emptiness, it is space. It is the sacred ground where thoughts settle and truth begins to speak. Most people fear silence because they have mistaken stillness for stagnation. They think that doing nothing means becoming nothing. But silence is not the absence of life. It is the birthplace of it. The seed grows in silence beneath the soil. The stars move in silence across the sky. The heart beats quietly within you, keeping rhythm with something far greater than yourself. When you learn to use the power of silence, you stop seeking answers from the noise and begin receiving wisdom from the depth. The mind, when left unobserved, becomes restless. It chatters endlessly, repeating old fears, rehearsing past wounds and projecting future worries. But when you sit in silence, when you simply breathe and listen, you begin to see the distance between who you are and what your mind says. You realize that you are not your thoughts, you are the awareness behind them. In that realization, the old patterns lose their power. What once controlled you now dissolves under the light of presence. Silence is a purifier. It burns away the unnecessary, the chaotic, the false. When you turn inward, when you detach from the outer noise, the clutter begins to fade. You start to feel a calm strength rising from within. A strength that does not shout, but simply is. You begin to move differently. You speak less, but every word carries weight. You act slower, but every action holds precision. This is the energy of mastery, born not from constant effort but from conscious stillness. There is a moment in silence when the world seems to pause, and you feel something timeless inside you, a deep knowing that you are guided, that you are supported, that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. This awareness cannot be taught in books or found in conversation. It is revealed only when you stop trying to control life and start listening to it. Silence becomes your teacher. It shows you what truly matters and what was never yours to carry. When you live in harmony with silence, you stop reacting and start responding. You stop rushing to fill every gap with noise. You begin to sense energy before words, truth before explanation. The world slows down for you because you have slowed down within. In silence, intuition awakens.